I never wanted to be a mother, but my family pressured me into keeping my baby, and now that she's 2 and I'm both physically and mentally struggling, I think I need to place her up for adoption. I came to the realization that I need to place my almost 2-year-old daughter up for adoption. I'm a single mom with no family support and no support from the birth father. I came from a broken abusive family. My mom was addict. I actually was in foster care from the age of 12 until I aged out. I struggled from PTSD, depression, and wanted to off myself for my whole adulthood. I'm 30 years old, never wanted to be a parent, so when I was pregnant, I wanted to put my baby up for adoption, but my mom and family pressured me into keeping the baby. They promised me they would help me, but the only one who really helped me was my mother, even though she wasn't dependable because of her addiction. All my family live outstate and my mom passed from an OD in January 2021, so now I'm all alone. I actually have a good job and I'm able to financially support my daughter, but my mental health is so bad. 6 months after giving birth, I was involuntarily hospitalized for self-damaging. I had a bad case of PPD, maybe I still do, Ike. All I know, I'm in therapy and my mental health is not getting better. I had a healthy pregnancy, no drug or tobacco use, I didn't even drink coffee. My daughter is very healthy, loving, well-adjusted and hitting all her milestones. She loves her stuffed animals, she calls them her friendies. She loves affection and cuddling. She loves music and dancing. If you say happy feet, she will shuffle her feet really fast. She's really the cutest thing in this world. Unfortunately, my mental has made it difficult to care for her, especially after losing my mother. I have no support. Sometimes I leave her crying in the crib. I just can't handle it. I love her, but I just feel so disconnected from her. It's not healthy for her and I want her to have a better life than what I had. I know, she is attached to me, but I believe she's young enough to make an adjusted transition. I guess this is a long story, I just don't want people judging me. I'm just looking for any advice or people's experiences with placing a toddler up for adoption. I'm hoping to go with a private agency, but not sure if they take toddlers. Even though I was in foster care, I'm not sure how state/foster adoption agencies work. Can I choose the parents and am I able to have an open adoption? I know with private agencies, I can choose the parents and I am able to have an open adoption. Ideally, I prefer a same-gender couple. I was abused by multiple men as a child and I really don't trust any hetero men here. I just don't want my daughter to go through what I've been through. I want her to have a good family. Any non-judging advice would be great. Thank you. Update, 1.5 years later, apologies for not responding sooner. My daughter and I are doing much better than before. It wasn't the best experience to get to this good place, but it all worked out in the end. We both seems to be in a good place. Here's a long version if anyone is interested. Back in February to March 2022, I went through a bad mental health break. I become very depressed. I lost over 20 pounds in a week from it. I did have an attempt, but I ended up calling for help and the EMT took me into the hospital, who then 72 me. I went into an inpatient hospital called HRI Hospital. It's a private one and it was more of a holding detention than a psychiatric hospital. I did learn a lot from the other patients, so the patients were more helpful than the staff. After that experience, I ended up doing an extra psychiatric program, but it was a PHP, partial hospital program, which is an intense outpatient one where I spend 8 hours a day Monday to Friday, doing therapy work. It was actually more helpful. They focused on teaching about CBT, coping skills, how to reframing negative thoughts patterns. So that was actually more helpful than the inpatient hospital. I will say at the time Boston was going through a major mental health crisis. Probably most places might be having the same crisis. Around that same time, Boston was trying to clear up the homeless camp tents on Methadone Mile and many homelessness were shuffled to these inpatient hospitals, so they were extra overloaded. It took 4 days just to get me a bed, so it was an unprecedented circumstances, and actually, around that same time is when Russia started to invade Ukraine. I found that out while in the hospital, watching the news, so my timing really sucked. It's just not a good time. My daughter's update, right before all of this, I surrendered custody of my daughter to DCF, so she wasn't around me when I had my mental break, back in February, and never saw any of the stuff above. Thankfully, she was placed in a very good foster home while I got my help. I had to go through a lot of treatments and follow DCF recommendations, but at the end of September 2022, my daughter was able to come back home, and our court case was officially dismissed in DEC 2022. Current update 2023, definitely not perfect, it's still a transition and some days are better than others. Being a single mother is just going to be hard, at times, and I just need to get used to it. People tell me it gets easier when they start regular school, so I'm excited for that. My daughter is doing well. She has a slight separation anxiety when I leave or drop her off at daycare, but it actually gotten better since last September 2022. DCF is still doing monthly check-ins for the next 6 months. Her ex-foster mom still comes and sees, her, and even takes us on family events, so it's been a good transition for her. My daughter is a sweet little girl. She loves affection and hugs and seems to be developing emotionally well with everything that she went through, except for some minor separation anxiety, but that really gotten better too. I just been working on my mental health, reframing negative thought patterns, staying away from toxic peeps. I have also been focused on whole body wellness, so I'm doing weight training, some martial arts, eating more cleaner foods, yoga/stretching, Pilates. I gained 50 pounds over the pandemic/lockdown, but now, I am back to my pre-pregnancy weight, the healthy way. I don't even weigh myself, I just focus on feeling good and getting back into shape. I like being active and living healthy, so that has really helped my mental health struggles. Also, definitely having better self-esteem, more confidence and self-worth, has helped the most, honestly. I didn't take any pictures of myself for 2 years of the pandemic, but I'm starting to take more pics and getting out more and just enjoying life more. I'm in a much better headspace and definitely feel more hopeful about the future. Thank you all for your help and just for caring and not for judging. I really appreciate these caring comments. Thank you.